Students, welcome back to the online teaching classes Divine Public School, Monapur, Gorakhpur. Today, we are going to study chapter 9th of First Flight, that is Madam Rides the Bus, written by Valekanam, a famous Tamil writer, critic, and translator. In this video, we are going to study the third and fourth part of this chapter 9. My dear students, before going to the textbook, let's know about the author. Valikanam is the pseudonym of the famous writer R.S. Krishnaswamy. He was born in a village near Tirunelveli in Tamil Nadu on 12th November 1920 and died on 9th November 2006. He was a famous Tamil writer, journalist, critic, and translator. He started writing at a very young age and had published 25 books by the time he turned 30. He wrote a total of 75 books in his life. He wrote novels, poetry collections, plays, and essays. He was awarded the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1978 for his critical works on modern Tamil poetry. Now let's try to understand the theme and message of this beautiful story. Madam Rides the Bus is the story of an 8-year-old girl, Wali. She was a wonderful girl. She was mature, clever, practical, and self respecting beyond her age. Standing in the front doorway and watching what was happening in the street was her favorite pastime. She was a great planner. She thriftily saved every penny that came her way for her first bus journey. During her first bus journey, Wali was full of enthusiasm and excitement. She enjoyed the landscape, the canal, palm trees, distant mountains, and green fields stretching out as far as her eye could see. She reacted strongly when she was called a child or madam. The self respecting girl refused to accept a free cold drink offered by the bus conductor. She planned her bus journey during the nap means sleep hours of her mother. Interestingly, her mother could never know of the bus journey her daughter undertook during her nap, that means sleep in the afternoon. Now, my dear students, let's begin the text. Part 3rd. Her first journey. What careful, painstaking, elaborate plans she had to make for it. She had thriftily saved whatever stray coins came her way, resisting resisting every temptation to buy peppermints, toys, balloons, and the like. And finally, she had saved a total of 60 paise. How difficult it had been, particularly that day at the village fair. But she had resolutely stifled a strong desire to ride the merry-go-round, even though she had the money. After she had enough money saved, her next problem was how to sleep out of the house without her mother's knowledge. But she managed this without too much difficulty. Every day after lunch, her mother would sleep from about 1 to 4 or so. Wally always used these hours for her excursions as she stood looking from the doorway of her house. Now, my dear students, let us try to understand the meaning of some difficult words. Here, in the first line, painstaking means troublestaking, or you can say cautiously. Elaborate means enlarge. To make for it means move forward, or HEAD, head forward. Thriftily, it means in a thrift manner. Stray means roam or ramble, RAMBLE, ramble. Resisting, that means refusing. Temptation, that means greed. Peppermints, it means red gum. Stifled, that means subdued, controlled. To slip means to slide. Nap means sleep. Excursion means outing, or you can say pleasure trip. In this paragraph, the narrator Valiknam describes that how an 8-year-old girl, Wally, saved money for first journey. Wally's first journey came after a careful and painstaking means troublestaking planning. She saved whatever stray, that means rambled, coins came her way. Finally, she had saved a total of 60 paise. She resisted every temptation, that means greed, like buying toys, balloons, and to ride the merry-go-round. Her next problem was how to move out of the house without her mother's knowledge. Her mother would sleep every day from 1 to 4. These 3 hours were for her excursion, that means outing or for pleasure trip. Or sometimes even ventured out into the village. Today, these same hours could be used for her first excursion outside the village. It means that sometimes even ventured. Ventured means went courageously or cautiously into the village. Today, these same hours could be used. These same hours means 3 hours could be used for her first excursion, that means outing or pleasure trip outside of the village. It means that Wali first time she was going to use these 3 hours of sleeping of her mother for outing or for pleasure for trip from her village to town. The bus rolled on, now cutting across a bare landscape, now rushing through a tiny hamlet or past an odd wayside shop. Sometimes the bus seemed on the point of gobbling up another vehicle that was coming towards them, or a pedestrian crossing the road. But lo, that is an expression. Just look and see. Somehow it passed on smoothly, leaving all obstacles, problems, hindrance, hurdles safely behind. Trees came running towards them, but then stopped as the bus reached them and simply stood there, helpless for a moment by the side of the road before rushing away in the other direction. Suddenly, Wally clapped her hands with glee, happiness, joy. A young cow, tail high in the air, was running very fast, right in the middle of the road, right in front of the bus. The bus slowed to a crawl, and the driver sounded his horn loudly, again and again. But the more he honked, sounded the horn, the more frightened the animal became. Means the animal became more scared, and the faster it galloped, always always right in front of the bus. Now, my dear students, in this paragraph, the writer describes about the reaching her destination, means reaching Wally's destination. Let us try to understand the meaning of some difficult words. Ventured out, that means went courageously or cautiously. Rolled on, moved on, or passed. Cutting across means passing through or moving through. A bare, that means hollow. Landscape, scenery, beautiful scene. Now rushing through, that means running through. A tiny hamlet. Tiny means small. Hamlet means crossroads, or you can say a very small village where only few people live. Hamlet, or past an odd wayside shop. Wayside shop means the shop which was located in the side of a road. Sometimes the bus seemed on the point of gobbling. Sometimes the bus seemed appeared on the point of gobbling. Gobbling means gulping up another vehicle that was coming towards them, or a pedestrian, that means footman. Pedestrian means footman crossing the road. But lo means here, look at, see. Somehow it passed on, some smoothly means softly, leaving all obstacles, hurdles, complications. Obstacles means hurdles, complications, safely, in a safe manner behind. Trees came running towards them. It appears that the trees were coming towards them. The trees came running towards them. It appeared to them while running forward, but then stopped as the bus reached them. As soon as the bus reached its destination, it stopped and then simply stood there helpless. And see, that girl, Wally, stood helpless for a moment by the side of the road before rushing away, before running away in the other direction, before moving away in the other direction. Suddenly, Wally clapped her hands. All of a sudden, Wally clapped her hands with glee, with joy, with happiness. Glee means joy and happiness. A young cow tail high in the air. It means a young cow just lifted its tail high in the air, was running very fast, was running very fast, right in the middle of the road, in between the roads, right in front of the bus. The bus slowed to crawl. When the bus driver saw that a young cow was running in the middle of the road, he slowed down the speed of that bus, and the driver sounded his horn loudly again and again. When that young cow was running in the middle of the road, to move that cow off the road, the driver of that bus sounded his horn loudly, in a very loud manner, again and again means repeatedly. But the more he honked, sounded the horn, the more frightened the animal became, and the animal became more and more scared. And the faster it galloped, and that young cow started running faster, started running very fast, and always right in front of the bus, and always that young cow was running in front of the bus. Always she came in front of the bus. So, my dear students, let us know the meaning of this paragraph. Here, the narrator Valikanam describes reaching of Wali to her destination. The bus was rushing through small hamlets, that means a small village. Suddenly, Wali clapped her hands. A young cow was running very fast, right in the middle of the road. It was right in front of the bus. The driver sounded his horn loudly, repeatedly. The more he honked, the more he sounded his horn, the more frightened the animal became. The animal became, that young cow became more scared. It was very funny to Wali. It was very funny to Wali. She laughed until tears came in her eyes. She started laughing unless tears came in her eyes. Then they passed through a railroad crossing. Then it passed through a busy but well lit out shopping street, bright looking shops. What glittering display of clothes, such big crowds. Though Wali, her destination had come. Her 30 paise could take her only to this place, and the conductor asked her to get off. Wali replied that she was going back on the same bus. She handed 30 paise coin to conductor. Here, I explain this paragraph also in advance. Let us try to read and explain this paragraph. Somehow, this was very funny to Wali. It was very funny to Wali. She laughed and laughed until there were tears in her eyes. Why did she laugh? Seeing that a young cow was running in the middle of the road in front of the bus. It was a very funny thing. It was a very funny thing to Wali. And that's why she started laughing. Until and unless there were tears in her eyes. Hey lady, at this, when she was laughing loudly, at this the conductor asked her, Hey lady, haven't you laughed enough? It means you have laughed too much. Call the conductor of the bus. Better save some for tomorrow, and it will be better for you if you save some laughing for tomorrow. At last, the cow moved up the road. Finally, the cow moved up. You know, moved up means got away or got off the road. And soon the bus came to a railroad crossing. Immediately that bus came to a railroad crossing. I speak of train. I speak of a train. That means a tiny spot of a train could be seen in the distance. It means that a very small spot of train could be seen in the distance from the from distant area, growing bigger and bigger. As it came near and near, it looked bigger and bigger as it drew near, as it came near. Then it rushed past the crossing gate with a tremendous means huge, roar and rattled. Rattle means sound of shuddering, shaking the bus. Then the bus went on and passed the train station. From there it traversed. Traverse means lying across a busy, well laid out, well planned, well structured shopping street and turning entered a wider thoroughfare. Thoroughfare means market. Such big, bright looking shops. And in that market, there were very bright, shining looking shops. What glittering displays! And whatever the displays, they were put forward to attract the visitors. They were very shining. What? Shining of clothes and other merchandise, that means commodities. Such big crowds and such a big crowds were there. Seeing this, struck dumb with wonder, Wali gaped at everything. Seeing all these beautiful, elegant, shining clothes and displays and bright looking shops, Wali was dumbstruck with surprise and stared at everything. Then the bus stopped and everyone got off. After that, the bus reached its destination and stopped there, and everyone got down from the bus except when the bus entered a wider thoroughfare, means wider market. Bali saw such a big, bright looking shops, glittering, shining displays of clothes and other merchandise, means commodities, and such big crowd and such big crowds. She was quite dumbstruck with surprise, and Bali kept staring at everything. In the meantime, the bus stopped and everyone got off except Wali. Everyone got down from the bus except Wali. At this, "Hey lady," said the conductor, "aren't you ready to get off? This is as far as your 30 paise takes you." It means that she had come to her destination, and the conductor reminded her 30 paise could take her only up to this place, and the conductor asked her to get off, to get down from the bus. At this, "No," Wali said, "I am going back on this same bus." She took another 30 paise from her pocket and handed the coins to the conductor. At this, she replied, "No, she is going back on that same bus." She took another 30 paise from her pocket and gave the coins to the conductor. At this, "Why? Is something the matter?" Just the conductor wanted to know from her. "No, nothing's matter." Immediately she replied, "No, nothing's the matter. I just felt like having a bus ride, that's all." Immediately she replied to the bus conductor that it was her liking, keen desire to have a bus ride, nothing else, that's all. "Don't you want to have a look at the sight now that you are here?" It means he offered that if you have come to the town, just have a look at the beautiful sights. Now you are here in the market, very good commodities are there, so you can have a look at that beautiful sights. The bus conductor offered to her. "All by myself, I'd be much too afraid." Greatly amused by the girl's way of speaking, the conductor said, "But you weren't afraid to come in the bus." When the girl told the bus conductor that she would be much too afraid to go anywhere, at any place, at this, the girl's way of speaking, he was greatly amused, greatly pleased. Who? The bus conductor. And said, "But you were not afraid to come in the bus?" At this, she replied, "Nothing to be afraid of about that," she answered. Immediately, quickly, she answered that, "Nothing to be afraid of about that." That means coming and sitting in the bus. "Well then, why not go to that stall over there and have something to drink. Nothing to be afraid about that either. Then the bus conductor offered her, "Why don't you go to that stall, small shop over there, and have something to drink?" And there they would drink something. And nothing to be afraid of about that either. It means if you have come riding in the bus, you are not afraid. So nothing is afraid to be there and having something to drink. At this, "Oh no, I couldn't do that." She replied to him that she would not do that. "Well then, let me bring you a cold drink." And then the conductor told her he was ready to offer a cold drink to her, but she firmly said that she couldn't do that. "No, I don't have enough money. Just give me my tickets, that's all." And she told that she did not have enough sufficient money so that she could drink something. "Just give me my ticket, that's all." It means that she just wants her ticket from the bus conductor. That's all. And that's all about that. "It will be my treat and not cost you anything." "No, no," she said firmly. "Please, no." She firmly opposed that. No, she would not do that. Just she want her tickets only, nothing else. When the conductor told her that it was treat for her from his side, still she said, "No, no, please, no." She could not do that. Only she wants her tickets. The conductor shrugged, and they waited until it was time for the bus to begin the return journey. Again, there were not many passengers. And here, shrug means raise one's shoulder. The conductor raised one's shoulder, and they waited until it was time for the bus to begin the return journey. Again, there were not many passengers in that bus. "Won't your mother be looking for you?" the conductor asked when she gave the girl her ticket. While giving her ticket, the conductor asked, "Your mother will be not looking for you?" It means that her mother would be not searching for her. "No, no, no one will be looking for me. No one will be searching for me," she said. The bus started, and again there were the same wonderful sights. When the bus moved off, sitting at her seat, she was enjoying the same wonderful and beautiful sights seen. Wally wasn't bored in the slightest and greeted everything with the same excitement she had felt the first time, but suddenly she saw a young cow lying dead by the roadside just where it had been struck by some fast moving vehicle. Now, when Wali wasn't bored, when Wali wasn't bored during her return journey, she had the same excitement. Suddenly, she saw a young cow lying dead by the roadside by some fast moving vehicle. Isn't that the same cow that ran in front of the bus on our trip to town? She asked the conductor. The conductor nodded, agreed, and she was overcome, controlled, and subdued with sadness. She felt great sadness. What had been lovable, beautiful creature just a little while ago means just before a moment, had now suddenly lost its charm, its beauty, and its life, and looked so horrible. Looked so horrible means fearful, terrible, so frightening as it lay there, legs spread eagle, spread eagle, that means spread out, a fixed stare in its lifeless eyes, blood all over, and blood was spread all over there. Here, she was the same cow. Here, just she noticed that she was the same cow which she had seen before. When alive, she was lovable. When that young cow was alive, was lovable, beautiful creature. Now she looked so horrible and frightening. Wally sat glued to her seat. The bus reached her village at 30:40. The bus moved on. Moved on means moved off. Started. The memory of that dead cow haunted her. It means the memory of that dead cow coming to her mind again and again, dampening her enthusiasm. It was dampening her enthusiasm, excitement. She no longer wanted to look out the window. And from just now, she doesn't want to look. She doesn't want to look out the window. Why? She was so sad to see the horrible and fearful sight of that dead cow. She sat thus glued to her seat. It felt that she had stuck to her seat until the bus reached her village at 3:40. She stood up. She stood up and went. She stood up and stretched herself. Then, then she turned to the conductor and said, "Well, sir, I hope to see you again." "Okay, madam," he answered, replied her, smiling. "Whenever you feel like a bus ride, come and join us, and don't forget to bring your fare." That means fare means money for the tickets. She laughed and jumped down from the bus, then away. She went running straight for home. When she entered her house, she found her mother awake and talking to one of Wally's aunt, the one from South Street. This aunt was a real chatterbox, talking too much, never closing her mouth. Once once she starts talking, never closed her mouth. And where have you been? Said her aunt when Wally came in. When she entered, her aunt asked. She spoke very casually, not expecting a reply. It means she doesn't want to reply her. So Wali just smiled, and her mother and aunt went on with their conversation. They kept on talking. Yes, you are right, her mother said. So many things in our midst and in the world outside. How can we possibly know about everything? And even when we do know about something, we often can't understand it. If we desire to know about something, we often can't understand it completely. Can we? Can we understand it? Oh, yes, breathed Wali. Wali said, yes, of course. What? Asked her mother. What's that you say? Oh, said Wali. I was just agreeing with what you said about things happening without our knowledge. Just a chit of a girl she is, said her aunt. Her aunt said that just a chit of a girl she is. And yet look how she pokes her nose into our conversation. Pokes her nose means takes an interest in something that doesn't concern her. So she was taking interest in the conversation of her aunt and her mother, just as though she were a grown lady. Bali smiled to herself. She didn't want them to understand her smile, but then there wasn't much chance of that, was there? Now, here in this last paragraph, when Wali reached home, she wished the conductor and hoped to see him again. When Wali entered her house, she found her mother awake and talking to one of her aunts. She was a real chatterbox. Her mother went on with her conversation. She opened, opened that there were so many things in the world outside them often couldn't understand them completely. Wali agreed with her mother. She said that so many things were happening without their knowledge. Her aunt called her just a chit of girl she is. She poked her nose in their conversation as though she were a grown lady. Wali smiled to herself but did not want them to understand her smile. My dear students, it was all about this part, and these chapters. So I hope that you have understood well, and it is my humble request that go through the chapters and try to understand and comprehend the meaning of the difficult words and infer the questions answer and write them in your notebook. Thank you.